All right, so first attempt. All right, so I like slide this way, I think. Okay. First attempt. All right. What's up, Freccero fam? For this video, I'm gonna be doing a very interesting challenge, and that is, I'm gonna see how long it's gonna take me from scratch to land a kickflip on a skateboard. I have zero idea how to skateboard, and every skateboarder I talked to said, look, this is gonna be way harder than you think and is going to take way longer than you think. I'm going to be tracking exactly how many attempts it takes to land the kickflip, and I'm going to be recording the exact amount of time I'm spending right from the get-go in order to land the kickflip. First things first though, gotta get a board. How do you think this is gonna go?
Dude, you're gonna have tons of fun. It's gonna go smooth. I'll give you about 3 months until you land.
3 months? All right.
3 months.
Gotcha. All right, well, we'll see. In case you didn't know what a kickflip is, the kickflip is achieved by combining an ollie and a kickflip motion towards the front foot heel side corner of the skateboard. Essentially what happens is the board has to lift off the ground, spin sideways 360 degrees or one full rotation, and then land back on the ground. Gosita, do you think I can land this kickflip? Is that a yes or a no? Gosita, I need to know. All right, first session done. I'm super sweaty. As you can see, I trained for 53 minutes and did 175 attempts. For today, I just tried to learn like the ollie and really get it down pat. He was the best ollie that I had. I know if I didn't show you the best ollie from my first day, you'd all ask about it. Now that you think about it, everybody ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Really curious to see how the rest of this whole experiment is gonna go. The good thing is because I've been doing parkour for about 10-ish years, a lot of the muscle groups I noticed when doing the ollie in terms of like the soreness are actually very similar to me doing flips and all the acrobatics that come into doing parkour. So I wonder if maybe some of that technique will kind of translate over in those muscle groups and the muscle strength that I've built up. I wonder if it will transfer over to skateboarding. Not really sure, but solid first day. Let's see how long this kickflip takes. It's officially day 2. I'm at Venice Beach right now at the skate park. As you can see, I have that kind of street section over here. Then all the way in the back is more of the vert section. I'm gonna go super hard today. I basically broken the kickflip down methodically, watched as many tutorials as I could, talked to a lot of different skaters to try to like break this down step by step. And it seems like the steps are getting the ollie, then getting the flip going, having 1 foot land on the skateboard, and then basically doing the entire flip, having 2 feet land on the skateboard, or basically landing the kickflip. So one big pro tip I was told is to basically do it on concrete and then shoot the board into the grass. So the idea is that when you're flipping it, you can kind of flip and throw it into the grass, so that way it's not going anywhere and basically hitting anybody. You may have also noticed I actually got new shoes. Check them out. I got basically Vans Pros. I was told that basically, especially with a kickflip, the goal is to basically slide the foot on the board, and the board is gonna be pretty much like sandpaper, so it's gonna scrape against the shoes a lot. And the parkour shoes that I have are meant to be super like thin and light and nimble when doing parkour, and I was told I'd probably rip through them in like 2 seconds. So went out, got some new shoes. So I guess this is pretty much the entire setup that I need. I got the board, of course, the shoes. Now all I gotta do is just keep at it. getting some full flips in now, which is huge. Slowly getting there. Now I just gotta get it to the point where it's doing this and landing, because obviously right now it's kind of doing like that. So I feel like I'm slowly getting there. What do you think, Caller? Do you think I can do it?
I think you can definitely do it, and you're doing way better.
Do you believe in me?
I believe in you.
Like that.
Oh.
All right. Let's go. Any words for the camera? I'm slowly getting there.
You're getting there, bro.
Very impressive.
Slowly.
Congratulations.
Here's how my feet look now, though. So, pretty torn up. I naturally have wide feet, so as you can see, it's weird that I feel like this foot doesn't seem as bad, but oh boy. What do you think about the kickflip? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? It's officially day 3. I'm at Skate Plaza right now. A couple differences from the last time I was filming is that one, I actually got new shoes. So I have the Evos, and I think they were too tight on my feet. I got 9.5s, thinking that the smaller the shoe, the better it would be. But I guess I should have gotten a lot bigger shoes. So I got the Kyle Walkers. I think these are the first version. I think they have 2 different versions of them. So these are the first version that came out. And I actually had to get size 11. So I was way off when it came to my skate shoes. So just to avoid getting in everyone's way, which is obviously super important at any skate park, I'm probably gonna go in like this corner right here. So that way, don't have to worry about like the board shooting off.
I bet you never even tried to be real. I bet you never tell them how it feels. I bet you never even tried to be real.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to call it. So as you can see, I think my form was good. Every video or tutorial that I've watched, my feet kind of match, in a sense, what they were doing on the tutorial, and obviously seeing other people do it, you know, in person. Another thing is also I've been training for over 4 hours today, so, you know, like I said, my body's tired now. So I think it's gonna have to push to day 4. Hopefully tomorrow will be the day, you know, like if everything lines up like it did today, hopefully tomorrow, we'll see, will be the day. So it's time for day 4. I'm hoping to land this thing today. We'll see. Let's just get right to it. Alright, so the flick is starting to make sense on this, where I feel like now I can kind of, in my mind, wrap my head around it pretty easily. Where it's like, okay, ollie, go up, and then that little like flick thing is what causes the spin. So I feel like it's making a lot more sense. I'm super close, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get food, and then I'm gonna go back to my house and then keep doing it, because I think the skate park's gonna close soon. I guess it closes here around 5. I don't know how much they enforce it, but I don't want to be like on like a good streak, and then they say, hey, you gotta leave. So I'm just gonna go get some food, fuel up. I feel like if I just keep doing it over and over again, just because I'm so close, I get the idea of the height, the flick, and I think especially my body positioning, being square on the board and keeping it kind of under me. You ready for the kickflip? Go see, you ready for the kickflip? Ready for the kickflip? So, it's getting pretty late, as you can tell by the yard, and I have to use like almost like a night light. Thought I was gonna be able to land it. I'm like super close, but I don't know, I don't know. All right, so it is day 5. I'm gonna try something new today. I feel like mixing it up every day just, you know, changes the variables. And for today, I feel like what I'm gonna do is only do it in my backyard, because when I do it at the skate park, I've noticed that every time that, like, say I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get some food, and then come back to my house and keep going because obviously skate park closes at a certain time, I realize that I feel like I lose all my momentum. So what I'm thinking is maybe today, if I start my yard, I can go for longer because I'm not having to take breaks driving or going to get food or something like that. It's a nice day out today right now. Maybe being in my backyard will kind of switch up the ambiance too. So stay 5, see if we can do it. It's day 6. I hope it doesn't rain today, actually. Look at that sky. Doesn't look promising. It very rarely rains here, and I checked the forecast. It was supposed to be cloudy, but doesn't feel cloudy. Anyway, so I'm gonna keep going off with this challenge. I want to land this thing within a week, and yesterday wasn't really the best day. Like I think only was like 150-ish attempts, and I just wasn't getting anywhere, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna stop. So I'm gonna be doing it here. This is actually my workout area for my house. I moved everything around. As you can see, the ground is a little unstable, and we do have foam for when doing like fitness activities. So I'm just gonna try doing it on the foam. That way I don't have to worry about like all kind of the bumps and cracks of the concrete, because it would suck hypothetically if I did land it. And then, like say, I start rolling and then I hit a bump and then it throws me off or something like that. So we have 2 more days to see if I can land this. And I feel like I'm almost moving backwards. Let's roll the montage. So far today, I've started on the foam, and I figured I've always started at the skate park and then gone back home and kept going. So today I'm gonna mix it up. I just parked. I'm at the skate park now. I got 2 more days left if I wanna, or maybe 1.5. I don't know how you wanna factor it. Until I can land this thing. If I wanna land it within a week. It's the start of day 7. Nothing really else to say. It's a super nice day out. Just got to get to it. There is one huge variable, though, that I'm putting into place today that might actually help me land it. Pikachu socks. So it's almost too nice out today. My phone's actually overheating just because of the sun and everything. In case you didn't know, I film all my videos with my iPhone. So I actually have to switch up my location of where I'm filming. So I basically went around and found a spot that had adequate shade to have my phone there, but also a place I could still skate at. So you may have noticed that the board is moving very differently now. Apparently, I'm almost landing a hard flip. I mean, the whole point of this challenge was to land the kickflip in the soonest amount of time possible. If I land a hard flip, apparently, I think it's harder. I don't know. I mean, obviously in the name, it sounds harder, but if I can land anything, I'll count it. We'll see how this goes. Taking a quick side note, the hard flip is a combination of 2 different tricks. It's a combination of the front side pop shove it and the kickflip together as one spin flip trick. was it. All right, so I just consulted with my brother and my roommate, who are both skaters. So I guess it counts as a hard flip, but I guess there's like different styles with the hard flip. At least that's the way they were explaining to me, that I guess Chad Muska has a version of the hard flip that I guess it's a hard flip, but it's a different style. And I guess mine's more similar to Chad Muska's. So I showed a bunch of skateboarders that video, and the way they worded it to me was that I landed a hard flip. It counts, but it's not a proper hard flip. And they said that if I really want to solidify this video, and like say, you know, starting with a kickflip, somehow now moving to a hard flip, I might as well land a couple more that have really, really good form. So I was trying that today just to be like, all right, I want to get just a couple lands that kind of make the hard flip, especially the flip of the board, look more legitimate. And now I'm doing this, which apparently is a Casper flip. This video makes no sense because I just wanted to land a kick flip. Somehow moved to the hard flip. Then now I'm doing a Casper flip. Now at this point of the video, I have to take a huge side segment and explain the difference between a Casper flip and a hospital flip. This can be very confusing. However, there's one big distinction between both flips. Now in both flips, in case you didn't know, essentially what's happening is the board is flipping halfway. So you're almost doing like a half kick flip. The rotation of the board is being stopped, and then you're spinning it back 180 degrees. In both flips, the board almost wraps around your front foot, as your front foot is what stops rotation or has it do a half kick flip and then brings it back 180 degrees. Now, when it comes to specifically the difference between a Casper flip and the hospital flip, the board is essentially doing the same movement. However, in a Casper flip, not only does the back foot help pop up the board, which happens in both tricks, but the back foot also helps spin the board around. In a hospital flip, the front foot is doing all of the work. So just to reiterate, when the board spins back around 180 degrees, in a Casper flip, the back foot helps assist in that rotation. In a hospital flip, the front foot has to do all of the work when it comes to doing the rotation and then bring the board back down on the ground. So in this video, as I later found out, I was actually doing a hospital flip, not a Casper flip. For the rest of this video, any single time I say the words Casper flip, I'm gonna put a quick note on the screen with a little asterisk saying no, it's actually not a Casper flip, it's a hospital flip. So today's a new day. I have no idea where this video is going right now, being honest. So, because I'm filming this in real time. So my goal, I think, for this video, again, like I said, starting with the kick flip, almost landing it, landing a hard flip, but then what I was told is that it wasn't a proper hard flip. So I should probably land a couple more just to kind of solidify the form, especially making the flipping of the board more legitimate, because it was a bit of like a sloppy hard flip. And then almost landing a Casper flip before, I don't know. But the good thing is we got turf here at my house, as you can see, kind of my garage area. So kind of cleaning up some stuff, making a little YouTube filming studio over there. But we got some turf now for the fitness area. So I cleaned some of it out. I've never skated on turf. So let's get to it. Finally did it. Finally landed a flip trick. Being more specific, landed the Casper flip. Such a weird video. My body's low-key shaking because I've been filming for hours today and skating for hours. I am beyond exhausted. Like, I was honestly going nonstop for hours today. And also, too, because I like kind of tracking everything for this video, I stopped counting my attempts once I landed that hard flip that, again, was a bit questionable and also, you know, not a proper hard flip in terms of what other skaters told me. But I would say this is roughly the 3,000th attempt of me starting complete from scratch and leading all the way up to the Casper flip. So I really wanted to film this recap as this challenge was insane. You know, on one end, I'm happy it's over because I landed a hospital flip, and I was super happy that that was, like, you know, the finite ending of this video. I did a hospital flip. Then on the other end, though, I was happy because this video was such a whirlwind, going from, you know, obviously buying the board, landing the ollie, almost landing the kickflip. I think on my third day is when I almost landed it. Then almost getting worse with the kickflip, then started to almost land the hard flip, landed the hard flip, or what I was told was a not proper hard flip, or a Muska flip, which I'll get to in a little bit. Then almost landing a Casper flip, found out was actually a hospital flip, and then finally landing the hospital flip. Now, in terms of the analytics of this video, because again, this is what I found super interesting in terms of keeping track, I want to stress that for this video, I started completely from scratch, and I have never skated. So now, going into the analytics, when I landed that hard flip, or the not proper hard flip, it was attempt number 2,256. The total skate time was 21 hours and 21 minutes. It was the 7th day that I've been skateboarding, and the total elapsed time from the day that I bought the skateboard until I landed the not proper hard flip was 1 month and 11 days. So I do want to be transparent on camera because I know the way I did it with day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, so on and so forth. Even though I landed the not proper hard flip on my 7th day of skating, the total time elapsed was 1 month and 11 days because obviously I had to take some time off when I bought the wrong shoes because my feet are a bit wider and they were definitely way too small. And in addition to, in case you didn't know, I'm also a DJ and electronic music producer, and I have other YouTube channels, so I have so much going on during this period of time. Then when it comes to the hospital flip, I will say I stopped keeping track of attempts when I landed that not proper hard flip because I thought the challenge was over. I was like, all right, video done. I completed it. But if I had to guess, starting from scratch all the way up to when I landed the hospital flip, it was roughly attempt number 3,000/3,100. I'd say probably closer to attempt number 3,000, but again, probably within that range. It was roughly, in terms of the total skate time from the start to the finish, 26 hours. It was my 10th day of skating, and the total elapsed time from the day that I bought the board until I landed the hospital flip was 2 months and 11 days because, in case you didn't know, I actually got COVID when doing this challenge. So I had to take a huge time off, and it was a huge hit to my cardio, so getting back into skating was actually pretty rough, if you just want me to be honest. But anyway, after an insane amount of hard work, finally landed the hospital flip. First off, I really want to say that I have way more respect for skateboarders and what they do. I've always been a big fan of people like Tony Hawk and Ronnie Mullen, and obviously, everybody looks at them as insane athletes, which they are. However, after doing this challenge, my respect for skateboarders is way bigger than before because I now understand that dedication and that tenacity and persistence to spend 8 hours on just one trick when you want to get this one line down or land this one flip trick or whatever the move is you're going for. I really have to stress that because obviously, as we know, there's a huge difference between observing something like Tony Hawk, Ronnie Mullen, being like, wow, that's impressive, but it's another thing to actually do it and learn from experience how insanely impressive it is with what they do. Another thing I really want to stress throughout this video is that I really wanted this video to be super respectful and truly honor the art and the craft of skateboarding. The amount of work, like I said earlier, that skateboarders put into their craft is insane. And for this video, I really want to be respectful of that and honor that, which is why I really want this video to have a very legitimate ending. When it comes to the hard flip, when I initially landed it, I thought, okay, challenge over, I did it. And when I showed some skaters it, they said, all right, it's definitely not a proper hard flip, but it's definitely a hard flip. However, it's a type of hard flip called a Muska flip, because I guess Chad Muska kind of put his own spin on the hard flip, and that's more so of what I did. With other skaters now, when I show them that exact same clip, they said, You know what, man? I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to be a jerk or anything, but I just don't think I'd count that as a hard flip. And for me, that was conflicting because I didn't want this video to finish off on a weird or ambiguous note. That's the last thing I wanted to do. So I was told, look, just land a couple more hard flips that really legitimize the hard flip as a bit more proper form, and especially the flip of the board looks more legitimate. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go back to the drawing board and land a couple more hard flips to make it more of a proper hard flip and also make the flip of the board more legitimate. The board started doing something weird again, just like moving from the kickflip to the hard flip. And initially I thought it was a Casper flip. Like I said earlier in this video, turns out it was actually a hospital flip. And for me, I have a very aggressive work ethic. And even though I just started skating, even though I was only a couple months in, I was like, look, if I can land a hospital flip, which what I was told was basically a very unique and bizarre and weird trick. Even one skater told me it was in a category of tricks called circus tricks, just because it's so bizarre that a lot of skateboarders don't even usually try to learn it, just because obviously, as you could see from the video, it's such a unique style trick. And I was like, okay, if I could land that and finish off the video with that, even though it's not a hard flip or even a kick flip, because what I was told is it would be a way more unique ending for this video. And in addition, the flip of the board is not disputed like it is with the hard flip. If you do a hospital flip, it's a hospital flip, no question. Again, just want to stress, like I said earlier in this video, just to make it super, transparent, the Casper flip is the same movement, except your back foot helps with the rotation of the board in addition to the pop. With the hospital flip, the back foot just pops it up and your front foot has to do all the spinning and the rotation on its own. But at the end of the day, this challenge was so much fun. I learned an incredible amount, and honestly, I've gotten more into skateboarding because obviously, as you can see from the footage, my hospital flip was nowhere close to someone like Ronnie Mullen or a big pro skater's hospital flip. So I've considered, basically working more on my form, maybe getting my hard flips down a lot better, making it more of a proper hard flip. I still have not even landed the kickflip yet, so maybe I'll go back to that and be like, okay, I've already done this weird circuitous path and landed a hospital flip. Let's go back to maybe the basics and just get the kickflip down. So to conclude this challenge of how quickly can I land a kickflip, on one end, I still have not landed a kickflip yet, but on the other end, concluded this challenge with a hospital flip.